So, Dino Melaye, the eternal clown, a child in an adult body, the court jester of the Atiku dynasty, is a person being sent to malign me. So of course, opportunity for drama, wear your Christmas suit, sit in a vehicle, and then try to make light of serious issues. So it's okay. But when I issued the warning yesterday, it wasn't for effect's sake. I meant what I said.
Hello, my great and wonderful people. How una day today? I hope all of una day well. Today, this man, Emmanuel, don't also come outside again. Yesterday we published a own video how he be say he take come outside with a lot of evidence of all the fraudulent acts of Atiku Abubakar when he be the presidential candidate of People's Democratic Party, and also the processes when he be say they use to carry out all these criminal acts. When he be say he not they allow any anti-graft agency for this country, Nigeria, to trace him for any corruption. Now, because of that very video when he be say he make yesterday, Dino Melaye, when he be say na he be the woman rapper of Atiku, don't come outside against the guy. And remember yesterday, this guy also told say anybody when he be say he make any attempt for his own life, he ready to open the whole secret when he be say he did for his own hand about Atiku Abubakar. Now, Dino Melaye don't dare that very step, and the guy don't come outside again and to send a message across to Dino Melaye. And before we leave you to watch this video and so many other videos for today, I want to quickly beg you for one favor. I beg, help us to like this video, because now the only way will be say YouTube and Facebook will fit help us recommend this video to each and every one of us all over the world. The more this video get likes, the more that they recommend them to people. Now their own policy now in be that very one. Thank you so much for your support. Now, I will first of all leave you to hear the message when we say Emmanuel sent across to Dino Melaye, and everyone when we say that they come after his own life before we bring other videos.
So, Dino Melaye, the eternal clown, a child in an adult body, the court jester of the Atiku dynasty, is a person being sent to malign me. So of course, opportunity for drama, wear your Christmas suit, sit in a vehicle, and then try to make light of serious issues. So it's okay. But when I issued the warning yesterday, it wasn't for effect's sake. I meant what I said. Some comments regardless. I meant everything I said. And because of you who has refused to heed that warning, Dino Melaye, I am going to tomorrow release my affidavit, so that my lawyers and the general public can use it for legal purposes. And I had initially intended, having listened to a few elders yesterday, to stop at episode 1. But because of you, what you have done, there will be episode 2, there will be episode 3, there will be episode 4, and a whole lot more coming ahead. As for your uninformed challenge to me to provide some letter of appointment, well, there's some up there for you to read. Based on my already existing personal and professional relationship with AA, these appointments were made proper. You can see the one signed by High Chief Dopesi. You can see the one by Atiku's son. When it comes to articles, nobody in this world wrote a higher number of articles about your principal than I did. Nobody comes close even. So I don't even need to answer that. You don't even know me. And so you come out based on some, and then call me Yahoo boy, which is okay. Everybody gets called. Nobody in Nigeria has gotten called a fraudster more than your principal. More than your principal. So yeah, from tomorrow, Dino Melaye, because of you, this just got worse.
All right, my great and wonderful people. I believe say una don't say and say the reggae don't start. We expect definitely say people like Dino Melaye must raise their ugly head. And our sincere prayer not pass be say may God push Dino Melaye the more and other people like him, so that everything when be say we need to know about what Emmanuel they talk about, and all evidences when be say it gets, it will feel reach our hand. Now our prayer na be that very one, and God will definitely push Dino Melaye to that very extent. As Emmanuel don't already promise say tomorrow, which is definitely today or tomorrow from now, he go release a lot of things. Then with the weights, our ears, they on ground, even as our eyes, they open. Anyhow, anytime, we'll definitely come to update you all. Now, we'll quickly leave you to watch this other video. We'll come back for more.
Director General of the Obi Dati Labour Party's Presidential Campaign Council. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Oshintokun, good to have you here. Well, first time we'll be seeing since your appointment. I guess congratulations are in order. But you listened to that detailed report of the endorsement by President Obasanjo, by Ike Clark, by Samuel Ortom, by others, and the reaction that these endorsements are generated. In one instance, we're told that Obasanjo Peter Obi is a case of the blind, leading the blind. Okay? And we've been told that President Obasanjo has no electoral value. In fact, the APC spokesperson, I think this must be Mr. Ononuga, said that in fact, Obasanjo cannot recommend anybody even for councillorship in his own neighborhood. Okay? So what is the value of these endorsements? And what does it mean to your campaign?
You know, it's funny that the presidential candidate of APC used that, the example that you just quoted, the blind leading the blind. It's a pathological citation. They are citing a pathological situation. And they are say that applies to him far more than anybody else. In terms of being pathologically deficient, this is what his campaign has been all through. You know, cognitive, the last guest here, talk about cognitive decline. You don't even need to look to come to that conclusion. So it's funny, kind of funny that you'll be saying that. Then of course, it's just that, you know, political language in Nigeria has become so perverse, you know, that it's difficult to make sense of who is saying what. And now, Tinubu's entourage, I don't know whether it was the first place he went for Obasanjo's endorsement some months ago. You all heard what he said there. They were even sneaking things into the newspaper about what he didn't say, to give an impression that he has endorsed his candidates. Now, the same candidate, the same people, came back 2 months earlier to say that the endorsement was worthless. So what did you go to do there in the first place? Why were you you went to the extent of leaking things that he did not say to give the impression that he has endorsed, until he himself had to react that he didn't endorse anybody. So the same person, the same people now are coming back to say, so that's what, and look at what Keyamo was saying, that Obasanjo's endorsement of Obi is a win for. Look, there should be parameters of acceptable political language, you know, vocabulary. People go to different that introduce confusion to people. Look, I don't have to be a campaign manager of Obi, right? And neither does any citizen of Nigeria need to be, to say that Peter Obi's ticket is way ahead of the other two. Now, from whichever point you want to look at it, as I said, the APC candidate, the election, the campaign he conducted, right? Before he went abroad, some Ulabalu and all this kind of thing. That is not the candidate campaigning to be elected. He was campaigning not to be elected. If that is what you are presenting to me as a candidate, I will not look forward to that kind of president.
Well,
you know?
Well, now you are the Director General of the campaign. Your appointment generated quite some controversy. And you said in one instance that you don't have any moral body.
Of course.
But people have said, how can you be in Zenith Labour Party and you showed up in Labour Party, although the chairman of the Zenith Labour Party has said you have left the party. But what is the motivation for you? In other words, how did you say, okay, this job, I want it, I want to support Peter Obi? What's the basic proposition?
You see, I don't want to waste myself. If I have something to contribute, meaningfully contribute, it should be what I'm presently doing. But look, the Zenith Party thing was a mistake right from the word go, right? But I wouldn't go in depth into that. What I will ask people is that, what is my motivation? For you, if you want to raise the question of morality, then you have to ask me, what is my motivation for doing so? And is it consistent with positions that I've had over 1 decade? That if you look at, fortunately I do that publicly in my column. There is nobody who will have been reading my column for the past 1 decade who will not pick Obi as a candidate that this man will support. There is no way. It is that logically consistent. So because of that, I should go and do, look, as I said, I've resigned from the party anyway. But when we want to raise moral issues, so you don't need to look far for evidences to judge me as immoral or moral. It's there in the open. As simple as ABC, clear. My position on how it was, I was years, Obi came to meet me where I was years ago, where I had arrived. So when people talk loosely like this, people don't bandy words around as if, words have lost their meaning. That, what's my motive? A presidential candidate, one of the so-called leading to, asked me to come and lead his campaign. I have a very, very good personal relationship with him. I had to decline. Right? And of course, going there would have been a much more comfortable for me thing to do.
Who is that presidential candidate?
I'm not at liberty to disclose his name. But you see, it's just part of an explanation, the context, within which my decision was taken. That's what I'm saying. If I want, you have to. That is what is my motive for this, for offering myself for that job. What is it? Is it in terms of my antecedents? Is it, how does it fit into what Nigeria needs most at this time? If I want to contribute my quota to Nigeria presently, what better way could I have done it than supporting that a clearly far better candidate?
Okay,
and a reformer.
As campaign director, what are your priorities, considering the fact that before the February 25 presidential election, you just have a few weeks, right? What are your priorities?
Well, priorities is to reach those parts of the country that, the remainder of our campaign itinerary, to visit the place, especially the north. So that is the priority, and of course, to re-energize those who started the campaign, those who own it in the first place, and that is the younger generation, right? There is the way, the fervor with which they started it, maybe because of the long drawn period, is So we need to again now to tell them, look, this is your chance, like Franz Fanon said. He said, out of relative obscurity, each generation must find its destiny,
or betray it,
fulfill it, or betray it. So the Nigerian youths have found their destiny. So it is for them now to fulfill or betray it.
All right, my great and wonderful people. I believe say una don't hear that sound message from Osun Tokun, the new DG of Peter Obi, when he be the presidential candidate of Labour Party. We not really get much to add to that. We'll leave you to do justice to the rest for us for the comment section, even as we draw the line here. We will see you when we see you. Remember, we love you all. Bye-bye.